Well, hello everybody, welcome back into the Colored Gemstone Academy. I am Paul Deasy, your instructor, and this is my YouTube channel, Paul Deasy Gemstones. So I wanted to thank each and every one of you who have subscribed already, so please continue to do so. For those of you that have not subscribed, just hit that subscribe button. I know it says subscribe, but it's absolutely free. It doesn't cost you a penny. Also, I wanted to mention that you may start to see ads at the beginning of some of my videos, and you can skip them if you want to. And the reason that those ads are there is that it allows me to get paid without asking you guys directly for money. So it's always going to be free to you. But if you find something that you're interested in and maybe buy from them, that'd be great. In fact, I was watching one of my own videos and I saw the ad for Contact Lens King. Now that's somebody who I actually buy my contact lenses from, because I found out that it was a lot cheaper than getting them from my eye doctor, and actually it came in a lot faster than ordering them from my eye doctor. Don't tell them I said that. Anyway, so this is part of my, I guess this is episode 17 of my question and answer series. This is one of my favorite things that I do for you guys every single Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a dialogue where I read your questions, I give answers, because some of you might have the same questions, but you're too shy to ask about them. So without further ado, let's begin with our first one this week. And this was Rebecca K, and it was from her watching episode 60, which is the Wild Horse, my most recent of my gem videos. She says, thanks again, Paul, for expanding my gem horizons. Can you possibly recommend a source for this Southwestern beauty, meaning the Wild Horse gem? Fake gems are a sad disappointment. I love your gem channel and your Western attire. Be blessed. Stay healthy and happy, Rebecca K. Well, thank you, Rebecca, for those very kind words. I really do appreciate that. And I'm glad that you love that stone. She's talking about the Wild Horse, and the Western attire that she refers to was the shirt with the little cattle skull on the back of it. So you have to watch the episode if you haven't seen it. Anyway, if you're looking for somewhere to go to perhaps find somebody that carries Wild Horse, one recommendation that I would make would be Sunwest Silver, which is in Albuquerque, New Mexico, downtown. And the owner of that shop, and has been since its inception, probably 40 years ago, is Ernie Montoya. And Ernie Montoya is the undisputed king of turquoise. He sells more turquoise probably than anybody in the entire world. He knows every single gem dealer or wholesaler in the entire country. And he has a lot of different gemstones, and also a great amount of Native American handmade jewelry as well. That would be one option if you ever find yourself in that particular area. Another possibility, if things ever get back to normal, this pandemic nonsense, would be the Tucson Gem Show. And I know that a lot of the Tucson Gem Show, like AGTA or JCK, you need to have credentials to even go into the show. However, I forget what route it is. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. I think it's Route 10 that goes through Tucson before it continues, east and west. And just south of Route 10 is called Speedway, which is kind of an access road. And there's a lot of shows there that you can visit where you see a lot of rough, you see a lot of loose stones that you can purchase, and you don't necessarily have to have credentials to get into all of those shows. So I find a great deal of interesting rough, and that would be another way that you might be able to get some of the Wild Horse. Now another thing, and this is down the road, I'm kind of trying to kick around some ideas on how I can put some of you, my loyal subjects, my loyal subscribers of this channel, and some suppliers of gemstones that can put you in touch with each other directly so that you can buy some things. I have to work out a few kinks because I want to have only people that are trustworthy, so nobody's going to be taking advantage of you. And I might make it for like a members only, which would be a nominal cost of, I don't know, 99 cents, $1.99 a month, and facilitate for you guys to get in touch with each other. I wouldn't be involved in the sales aspect of it, but putting you in touch with people that can maybe help you find stones that you can't find where you live. Well, I hope that answers your question. and let's see what the next question has to offer. Okay, now our next question for this week comes from Jane Smur from episode 59, which is the larimar. And she's part of a group of people that watches a Facebook Live that I do every Sunday at noon Eastern time with my wife, Judy Kroll. So we just kind of banter and have fun. But she's also a subscriber of this channel. She says, as usual, very educational. I sure wish I had collected more larimar years back. Well, that's for sure. I think hindsight is always 20/20, and as we learn about gems that become popular, we wish we had a time machine to go back when it was a little bit more affordable. But that said, it's still a relatively affordable gem. So Jane, if you find a piece of larimar that you like and you can afford it, I would definitely pull the trigger and don't delay. You can start building a collection at any time. So I hope that answers your question as well. Okay, the next victim on our questions of this week will be Glenna Oro from episode 60, Wild Horse, another not only faithful subscriber, but somebody who watches our Facebook Lives on Sunday as well. And she says, Paul, thank you for the lesson on Wild Horse. What a beautiful stone, and it is new to me. This is exactly why I watch your Gemstone Academy. I learned something new with each of your lessons. Well, that is my goal, so thank you so much, Glenna, for the kind words. And for those of you that may be new to the channel, since these are questions, her question was about episode 60, the most recent, I have 60 other gem lessons. So those of you that maybe not have seen all the ones that Glenna has, I think she's been here since the very beginning, you can always go to the playlist, click on the Gemstone chapters or the Q&A series and catch up on something that you might have missed or maybe you just want to refresh on. But again, a great, insightful question, as usual, Glenna. Thanks for asking. Okay, our next question comes from the United Kingdom, and it is Viola Vincent, also from episode 60, which is the Wild Horse Gemstone. Thank you for another interesting lesson, Paul. Such an unusual stone, really beautiful. Also, I have managed to obtain copies of both of your books here in the United Kingdom, and I'm thoroughly enjoying reading them. Looking forward to next week's lesson. Well, thank you so much. I'm glad that you are indeed enjoying these lessons and the books that I've written. It was funny. I kind of went back and forth with her on chatting on YouTube, and she said that she actually got the physical books because I said I didn't know if she got the ebooks. I had shipped some of the books to QVC in the UK years ago, but I never went on there to present them, so I didn't know. That's probably how she got it. Anyway, I have written 2 books on gemstones. One is called Colored Gemstones by Paul Deasy. The other is called Opals by Paul Deasy. Opals, of course, one of my favorite gemstones. For those of you in the United States who want to get a copy, you can either get the ebook on Apple Books. It might be on Kindle as well. I don't remember. That's really the most affordable way to get it. But if you'd like the physical book, like this one up here, it is available still here in the United States in the coffee table book form. You can reach out to me on a question here. I think I do that one for $17 and the Opal book for $10 with free shipping in the U.S. I can't do that outside the U.S. because I'm shipping it with the U.S. Postal Service. So that's there for any of you like Viola that might want to read the physical books. Thanks for the question, Viola. Okay, so our next question comes from Jancy Munsterman from episode 60, Wild Horse. I'm noticing a theme, a lot of Wild Horse comments. Says, I have some Wild Horse stud earrings I purchased from you from Shop HQ a few years ago, but I stopped dealing with the network and never got anything to go with them. I've never worn them. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. And I don't know if your reticence is that you don't have other pieces to pair it with, or you're not sure if you could wear it as a pair of earrings on its own. I will tell you this, that all the Wild Horse, and especially I have some pieces that have done, I think I showed it in the video, that had some turquoise, Sleeping Beauty turquoise inlay with the Wild Horse. So it's great to wear with your turquoise. You don't have to have other pieces of Wild Horse to enjoy it. The other thing that I would say, it's very, very, you know, when you think of Southwestern attire, certainly nobody I can think of in the United States doesn't have at least one pair of jeans. So it looks great with denim, you know, with the browns and the whites in there. It can go with really a lot of different clothing options that you might like. But it's also a great conversation piece because somebody sees your earrings and compliments on them, and you can wow them with your knowledge about where it comes from, and that it was mined in the United States and completely natural. But if it's a question of finding more pieces that have wild horse in them, I'm going to work on that for you. Thanks for the question. All right, I think I'm going to have to make this the last of our questions for this week, although I still have a lot of them in the queue, so I will have a lot more to talk about next week. But this next one, or last one for this week, comes from Tanya Lynch from episode 7, all the way back to episode 7, which was part 4 of the 4 C's, you know, the color, cut, clarity, carat weight, 4 C's. Anyway, she says, I'm learning so much. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and showing how exciting gemstones can be. Well, you are most certainly welcome, Tanya. Although this channel should probably come with a warning label because gems can be very addicting. Believe me, when I first got into this business, I made fun of all of the crazy people that were like hoarders. Everybody I met from gems, whether my friend Peter Vida in Australia, who also is a noted authority on turquoise, all these different people that I meet, they hoard gemstones. They can't get enough of them. So as I said, it should come with a warning label, and I'll remind everybody of a little story of when I started in the business over 30 years ago. And I had to take my first course in gemstones because I was a host on a shopping channel. I sold a lot of jewelry and I didn't know anything about gemstones. So I took a course expecting to be bored out of my mind. Now, 30 years later, millions of frequent flyer miles later, visits to gems worldwide later, 2 books that I've written later, obviously it's a labor of love for me, and good luck in breaking your addiction to the gemstones. Well, that's going to do it for this week for me for our episode 17 of our question and answer series. Remember, every single Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, a new question and answer series will drop. I want to make sure you stay tuned for next week's because I have a really great question about, is there such a thing as white turquoise? Well, if you've not yet subscribed to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. Remember, it's completely free, doesn't cost you a dime, but it allows me to continue to do these lessons for you absolutely free. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time, everybody, on the Colored Gemstone Academy.